Hi there, welcome back to How to Hypnotise Without Trance. I hope you're enjoying the course so far. We've had a chance so far to look at some practical stuff and break that down with the hand stick tutorial and talk about some of the principles with the setup and this kind of thing. Before we go into any more principles, and there are plenty more principles that are going to help you get really good at doing hypnosis, before we get into any more of those, I thought it would be nice to have another look, at another practical piece. So this is a very quick piece. It's a very quick hand stick piece, which I call quick stick. I'm going to show it here on a video and then break it down for you so you get a sense of how it works. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, I had somebody write to me and ask me a question about one of the very earliest clips that I put on this blog. I don't know if you remember it. If you were here at the start, you may well do. It may even have been the first clip. It was called Quick Stick. And there's me out in the middle of Leicester Square doing a hand stick with somebody who is actually the magician Lee Smith. So some of you may know Lee if you're in the magic world. Now, the interesting thing about this piece is it's very quick. It is quite literally very quick. It's not something, I have to say, it's not something I actually do that much these days. I had a little phase of playing with it, but somebody's written to me and asked me to explain it, and I'm more than happy to do so, and it's a fun, quick and easy little piece to do. Okay, let's have a look at the clip first and then I'll break it down afterwards.
Way of getting energy into hands, just rub your hands, you feel the energy build up in your hands. Bang, get the bang, slip, bang, bang, slip, just slip, line, slip,
Okay, so that's it, quick stick, and it is quick. It's very quick, and it's very effective if you have the right kind of person. You know, if you've got somebody who's very responsive, what I would call a hypnotic virtuoso, there's very minimal setup required. You don't have to do a lot of pre-talking and this, that, and the other. And the other thing is, you know, obviously you want to bring all your hypnosis skills to bear, and that will start to rule more and more people into the envelope of those who this will work highly effectively with. All that's a different kind of area, but for now let's just get down to the mechanics of it. First of all, the framing. So if you're familiar with the Hypnosis Without Trance approach, you'll know that I'm quite loose and quite free with my frames. This particular piece utilizes an energy frame, or I usually utilize an energy frame around it. So I'll often do it in a situation where the conversation has come around to chi or energy or martial arts or something like that. And if people are there and they're discussing that, well, we've got somebody, we've got people whose belief systems incorporate that idea, and it allows us to work with it. If you wanted to bring the piece in and you wanted to introduce the energy frame, I would just recommend saying something like, if you had any experience with energy, with doing qigong or Reiki healing or anything like that, if you ever experienced sort of energy work, if the person says yes, obviously find out more about that and utilize their belief systems around that. If they say no, say, it's an interesting thing. I'm not sure if it's really energy or not, but certainly when you play around with some of the concepts, some really interesting things can happen, and then you can proceed at this point. Obviously, for me, I would want to be doing this with somebody that I had a sense was going to be a good responder. If you know how to pick those kinds of people out, then all good. If you don't know how to do that yet, well, this is all going to be part of your learning curve, and I'm not going to get into those details here. Obviously, they're things I've discussed elsewhere, like on the Hypnosis Mastery Program, gratuitous plug there, and that kind of thing. So for the moment, realize the kind of person that you want to be working with. But it doesn't matter, just go play with this. So that's it, that's setting the frame. If they believe in energy, yeah, it's energy. If they're, say, I'm not sure if it's really that, but interesting things can happen. And then you get them to kind of start to follow along. So the first thing you do is say, okay, what I'd like for you to do is just start to get some energy into your hands. And you start rubbing your hands. You want to see them respond. If they look at you like you're an idiot, it's not going anywhere. But if they follow along very quickly and responsively and start rubbing their hands, this is a good thing, this is a green flag. So you're rubbing their hands, they're rubbing their hands, and then you say to them, right, just really start to get that energy, bang, just get that energy into your hands, just bang, get that energy into your hands. And they're rubbing and you're telling them to get the energy into your hands. Again, you want to see them start clapping after you do, bang, bang, getting the energy into their hands. Now what you're doing, there's a number of things here. You're building a response set, you're focusing them in on an activity that they can become absorbed in, they actually start to feel something. I think it sets the muscles to start pushing in with this clapping and this rubbing. So it starts to set the neurology in the way that you want to do. You're also setting up a pattern that you are about to interrupt. You're about to interrupt it before giving a rapid suggestion set. So here you go, you're going to get them going, bang, just get that energy into your hands, just bang, get that energy into your hands, that's right, bang, and stick, just feel that stick lock solidly all the way through, just sticking in place, feel that energy sticking and locking your hands solidly in place. You can try and pull your hands apart, find they just stick solidly in place. Really try, just really try. And you give the suggestion sequence. You give the suggestion sequence and communicate that stuckness with your entire being. All your non-verbal gestures, really try your tonality, the way you emphasize, you know, so I'm saying really try and pull that apart, find they stick more solidly. So the try is emphasized. So these are all hypnosis skills, these are all covered elsewhere. But it's a really, really quick piece, you know. If you've got a great responder, they're going to respond greatly. If you bring all your hypnosis skills to bear on it, you're going to increase the number of people who respond greatly. So, really that's it. The only thing to say from here is from there, if you know more about hypnosis, you can spiral it out into other areas. You can stick other things, you can do amnesias, you can do anesthesias, you can go straight into hallucinations if you've got a really good responder. And if you want to just end it there, you know, just leave them stuck, leave them entertained and amused for a few seconds. Like in the quick video that I show, you'll see Lee, whose hands are stuck, he just starts to laugh, he's just amused by the experience, and that's enough. So I just release the hands at that point, with just feel them, just bam, release, that's it. And again, this is like a little magical flourish, it's like a non-verbal communication. It creates a little bit of meaning in that moment. You'll often see me do this, releasing a hand stick, bam, just releasing it. Okay, so I hope you kept up with that. I know that was a quick fire set of instructions. I hope there's enough information for you to be able to go out and play with this and have some experiences with it. I would love to hear your feedback, whether you've enjoyed this piece or not, and what kind of successes you've had or otherwise with it. So please do leave the comments in the blog section below. And yeah, that's it. Quick stick, go out, play, enjoy, discover things. And I'll look forward to seeing you on the next blog post. Take care.